Hey everyone, welcome back to our series on the Messer plays of the Glasgow Fechtbuch. My name is Ulrich, and today we're going to talk about the third play in our manuscript, and more specifically about the inverted hand, or the Versatzung mit gewendter Hand. This is one of my favorite plays in the manuscript, and I've got to restrain myself from talking too much, so let's jump right in. Alright, similar to the second play, we start off with our right foot in front again, defend ourselves against an incoming strike from above, step out of line and do a counter-attack. So let's have a look at the manuscript and what it says on the third play. Put your right foot forward and hold your messer with the point downwards. When your opponent strikes you from above, shoot your messer up and displace with the inverted hand. Jump to their right side into the triangle and hit or stab. Pretty straightforward again, is it? So, how does it work exactly? I'm standing with my right foot forward, holding my messer pointing downwards. Note how I have my thumb on the flat. Peter is going to attack me from above. I'm stepping towards him and displace with the inverted hand. Then I jump to his right, my left, with my left foot leaning, and I strike him back. And that's it. Now, on first sight, there's not much of a difference between the second and the third play. Both start with the right foot forward, followed by a high displacement and a triangle step to our opponent's right, our left. So, what exactly is the difference? Well, to answer that, we have to take a closer look at how the displacement in this play works, and that's where it gets interesting. Okay, so to really understand what's going on in the play and why it's such a great addition to the manuscript and our repertoire in Messer fencing, we need to take a look at how the inverted hand works. The Glasgow Fechtbuch tells us to start off with the right foot in front and our messer pointing downwards. Now, it doesn't really tell us anything about how the displacement works, except to shoot our messer up and displace with our hand inverted. Luckily, this is enough of a description to actually cross-reference to other sources. And the best way to get an idea about the inverted hand is actually Hans Talhoffer's 1467 Württemberg treatise. So we wind our hand into the incoming attack and displace with our short edge against our opponent's long edge. Also a great example to understand the shoot your messer part better is in Talhoffer's section on mounted fencing. So in conclusion, from the position we start off in the third play of the Glasgow Fechtbuch, we rotate our messer upwards and then we thrust into the line of attack while winding our short edge against our opponent's messer. Practice tells us it's fair though to slide a bit off of the thrusting part and more into the direction of an Enrüstau, depending on dynamic and distance. I won't go into detail on how to place and take care of our hands and wrists correctly today, because that would simply take too much time for this format and probably is enough for a whole video by itself, so that makes something I might be following up on in the future. Now, I'm not saying any other way wouldn't work or that it's not possible to do the inverted hand differently from what I just explained. I'm only saying that it's the most sensible way of understanding the inverted hand to me, based on all source material available as of now, while staying as close to the sources as possible. I haven't found anything that points into any other direction while being as well supported by historical sources so far. Alright, so right in the beginning I told you that this is one of my favorite plays in the Messer section of the Glasgow Fechtbuch, and the reason for that is quite simple. Because the inverted hand is a quite beautiful and really versatile thing to have available. Once it's understood and can be applied correctly, it leaves us with a lot of options to follow up on, starting with simple umschlagen from one opening to another, over feinting and working in the bind, up until disarms and setting up a lot of cool wrestling stuff. I've got some examples for you here, but I'm intentionally saving up on grappling for later, since that's an essential part of the 10th play, which works with basically the same entry. As in the last two videos, I'd also like to show you some footage on pressure testing we recorded. As always, we don't go full force on each other, but we do try to resist. Also, please keep in mind that it's still a setup situation and we both know what's going to happen. If you've watched my approach on the second play, especially the part about intention, you'll see it also helps with this one if the attacker commits into their strike. Alright, so much for today. I hope you had fun watching. If you have questions or want to share your opinions on the matters I was talking about, please feel invited to do so in the comments below. See you next time.